No, I'm not a feminist by what feminists stand for these days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm for women.
Feminists don't even fight for women. They fight for LGBTQ.
For woke.
Yeah.
For
pro-woke.
Literally. That's you said it. You said it. They just fight for LGBTQ.
That's it. All right. Night talk here. What is it? The Black Russian connection. What is our shit?
A Black Russian connection. That's new. I ain't heard that.
No, but didn't we have like something we said before?
Oh, like Black Russian White Knight?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Anyway, that just means she here. Wifey's here. We getting on these Jubilees, these middle grounds, and it's some white feminists versus people of color, anti-feminist talking.
Women of color.
POC is people of color, persons of color.
No, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. And I didn't want to talk about this shit by myself because I'm a man and y'all like having her on these conversations, so let's get into it. But before we do, make sure y'all pull up to shopstevieknight.com. Anytime you see your boy rocking some shit that you rocking with, man, pull up to the site, find something like, I got you. I got the wrong shirt on today, but it still goes hand in hand with the channel.
What shirt
Leave
would you
my
need
fucking
on?
kids alone.
Social
I don't know.
construct these
Yeah.
nuts.
In fact, social construct these nuts probably goes. Social construct these nuts. Masculinist, hoes and headaches. I got 99 pounds. Being a man ain't one.
All of them.
Yeah.
Get your shirt.
Yeah, get your shirt. Anyway, let's get into it.
The patriarchy has been beneficial to society. Agreeers?
That word
Absolutely.
is so annoying.
It is, but it absolutely has been beneficial to
It
society.
builds
Be interested to
society.
hear from the feminists.
That's interesting.
I think it's benefited society in the way that it was meant to. The patriarchy was created by men, especially in Western culture, through colonialism. The system was created to benefit specific people in society and not everyone in society, because men were the foundation for how the country was created, but they weren't the ones who necessarily always built it. I think women did a lot of that.
What?
I step forward kind of a similar way. I
she
think
say
it has
women built
benefited
society?
men
Did a
in
lot of it.
society. It's benefited my dad, but it hasn't benefited my mom.
I just have a question, because I guess I have my own understanding of what patriarchy is. Can either of you just define it for me? Like, what is the patriarchy?
To me, it's just men being in dominant positions and running government offices, running households, running every space where there's all genders, there's men running those spaces.
In terms of getting loans for homes, men were the ones that were able to do that. Women weren't able to do that until they were given the rights to do that. It's statistically, men have had jobs longer, men have ran the country longer, so women
paid
having
more.
to
and
women having to penetrate those boundaries that are so deep into our country. Men have more of a leg up.
blows
Not in
me,
every
though.
culture.
But the question
I
was,
think in
did it benefit
Western-
society?
Yeah, it absolutely benefits society. But what blows me about women having these stances on it is that if there was no patriarchy, women wouldn't have the position or the opportunity to even be in any type of position, because it'd
To
be
penetrate the infrastructure, because there would be no infrastructure.
But it wouldn't be no infrastructure. It'd be
Right.
survival of the fittest, and I'm gonna rape this motherfucker. I'm gonna pillage this fucking village. The organization of the society we live in is based on how men were able to defend it.
And I bet you it was organized that way because men were the ones that wanted to organize society.
Absolutely.
It wasn't that women were like, let me get a seat. And everybody was like, nah, women were just at home doing what they wanted. That word just triggers me because I'm so tired of it being used by feminists, just trying to be victim. It's annoying.
It just, they don't think about that. The only reason why you're even able to even talk about this in the manner you are is because patriarchy exists. It gives you the opportunity to be sitting here uptight about whatever circumstances you feel like you are victimized in. If it wasn't here, you'd be fucking lost in the sauce somewhere.
Society as is here because men built it.
And unfortunately, women wouldn't be able to build it because they wouldn't be able to defend it back then. You have
Couldn't defend it, and we couldn't build it.
That's what I mean. Both.
white culture, men have the leg up, and they're the ones that created it initially.
So, you know, I like that you asked, like, what's the definition of
Yeah.
patriarchy, right? When I think of patriarchy, I think of the roles that we all have to play in society, right? Men built a lot of civilization. That's just the truth. Yeah, men are strong, men are providers, men are protectors. And so
Facts.
men have built society throughout history, and we've all benefited from that.
Well, we only give credit to the men who built it, but there's been women staying at home for years who are educating their children, loving their children, teaching them empathy, and the men aren't doing that.
I think
But
those
that's a
women
different
should
role.
be highlighted. I
Yeah.
feel like, for me, I feel like feminism doesn't highlight
But
those
absolutely,
women.
it doesn't.
Those
At
women who
all.
are actually doing the
Right.
work.
At
and
all.
speaking and
It
doing
doesn't
the
highlight
you.
things
But that's what I
the
mean
things
by the
feel.
roles that we
So it's
play.
just like, I agree in that sense, but it's like, we have to give men some credit.
It wasn't an ethical stance there. Yeah, white men came over and colonized the U.S., but at the expense of the indigenous humans
And
that
black
were
people,
here.
I will say, as
What
unethical
does
as
that have
that
to
is,
do
black
with
people
anything?
became citizens because of it. I'm here in this country from that. The patriarchy, the reason why we have women doing what we're doing in the workplace or doing what we're doing in this world is because we are following that of men. And that has been, and it's not.
Did men fight for the right for women to be in the workplace, or was that female?
But I don't think
voices?
that.
Men created
I'm
the
sorry,
work.
go ahead.
Like, was
But
it?
men gave women the opportunity to fight for the right to have a working workspace. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like they allowed it to happen.
No, but yeah, because society was formatted in that way where women were suppressed at one point in time in history.
And then
but,
women are like, we want to work.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay.
Yeah, society was formatted that way. If patriarchy didn't exist, you wouldn't even have the ability to protest and request the right to do anything. It'd just be what it was going to be.
Best part of it is that the part where she was like, well, you know, men are strong and they build society. And she's like, well, women birth and raise kids.
And she just shitted on it.
No, but
Oh, she
that's
just shitting
literally
on it.
what feminist women are not about.
Exactly.
So, like, pick a side.
Yeah.
Is it great to be a stay-at-home mom with your kids and just a good wife to your man? Or do you need to be in the workforce competing with men?
They didn't want both. I want your cake
Which
and
one?
eat it too.
Male voices who were like, get our wives in the workplace, or was it females who were like,
Doesn't matter.
or
But yeah,
women?
but that's what I was gonna say. I just think personally, the reason why women have benefited from this is because we chose to. Women choose to do whatever they want, and to say that the patriarchy doesn't benefit women, I'm just
Gave you
confused
all
by
the
that
ability
because
to
So I'm just saying, I think the question was if the patriarchy benefits society.
Yeah.
And we're agreeing that it's benefits
I thought it was
society.
women. Okay, so it's society.
I think,
Society.
unless I misunderstood.
Okay, so
Yes.
society is society.
I agree with your point
Okay,
for sure.
so-
Yeah.
But not society. Or yes, society, but not women.
I
But
feel
it
like if
wasn't
anything,
all.
like feminism
Women are part
affects
of-
the
women are more than
patriarchy or
50%.
the roles of men and women. Nowadays, like men are now more feminine and women are
what's
more
wrong with that?
masculine.
What's wrong with
What's
that?
and men have always been
Everything.
feminine,
I think there's a lot wrong.
They're not.
Yeah.
There's a lot wrong with a man acting feminine.
No.
Everything.
There's a big distinction. I'm gonna share my husband. He's the most manly man you'll ever come across. He's a whiskey drinking, gun toting, football watching, all the things. But he's a squishy, soft teddy bear. He's very compassionate, very empathetic. That's the epitome of a good man to me, right? And I'm married to him.
I don't know about you guys, but in the dating world, it's so much confusion, and then it's like, men, well, you're a feminine. Oh, well, women should pay now, right? Because like men don't want to be men
And women already
or
have
like
to.
doing things, and then it's like I don't subscribe to feminism, so I'm okay with just, like a role,
Like, you do your role,
traditional
you're being
role,
traditional
yes.
woman.
But
And
society
age.
has functioned
remember
forever
the-
with very specific
Exactly.
roles of masculine. You know, in today's time, I consider myself a very modern woman, but I love stepping into my feminine role where I can let my husband lead, you know, and let him be the provider and everything, right? We've just got such an upside down world right now where, especially for the young generation,
Yes, we do.
there is just real no distinction.
Confusion. They
There's
don't know.
no-
They don't know
Can
what's
I
supposed to
ask
step into
what's
it.
upside down about, me acting more masculine and my friends who I am friends with a lot of men who just have a lot more feminine traits. I don't see that as the world being flipped upside down.
feel like we're less
see
friendly.
that.
Are you
Hang on.
less friendly?
Hang on.
What did it say? If what she's saying, if and the whole society was to
Like
do what
that.
she's saying, and all men became feminine, and
You have no
all
military.
men became masculine, it'd
Women.
be raps.
Yeah, where we'd have no military.
Be
We'd
raps.
have nobody building
Be
anything.
raps. We'd be pillaged. We'd be slaves.
What's wrong with it?
What's
what is
wrong
the-
with it? Like it's the natural order of things, man. It's like
We'd be having no kids.
nothing.
We would just cease to exist.
At all.
So there's that being wrong with it, because if men are feminine and women are masculine, there's
Ass
going to be
backwards.
less
Everything.
kids born.
Society has been forcing men to act strong, and you're saying that a man isn't a good man if they're not strong and protector. I think that's bullshit. I think that a man is a man because they say they're a man. So I think the second we start to say men are acting feminine and women are acting masculine, that is so problematic.
If you're a little bit more flamboyant, you can't be flamboyant. Yeah, I'm saying, I'm talking.
Okay, sorry, I
I
don't
know
understand what you're
okay.
saying.
I'm talking in this way. I don't look to men and what they can give me. I look to what do I not have, and that's not good. And
I feel like as
yeah,
black women, I
Yeah.
don't know, it's like, especially black women, we're always so already strong
already
and then
strong.
masculine. We always have this energy of like, we're already masculine and already, so it's like, no. They're having their feminine energy. It's not gonna help me. You know that's what I'm
Feminine
saying?
energies? What about lesbians? You can have two feminine energies.
No, but I'm just not.
Y'all are-
I'm just saying. I'm
know,
just saying
but-
that can
Wait,
work. I'm
one
just
at-
talking
one at
about for
a
me
time.
personally.
I'm just trying to understand why you need feminine and masculine. That's
Can I just
my
ask, can I
disconnect.
say this? My mom told me, if you were a boy, I would send you to your father because I think that at a certain age, he would be able to properly prepare you as a man in this country.
Facts.
My dad told me straight up, he said, if you were a guy, I'm so glad you're a girl because I would have been so much harder on you. It taught me how to be softer. And that's what, that is a feminine, me being a woman, a young woman, taught him how to be soft because that feminine energy, he wants to protect me.
Like seeing traditional roles like in Western society is looked down upon. But no, I want to be able, in Islam, men are the leader of the households, and I'll give that to him, the respect to him, and allow him to lead me and my family as long as he does it and he fulfills respectfully and he does it within his rights that's God given. And the moment he steps out of the boundaries and disrespects my rights and doesn't give me my rights as a Muslim woman and a wife, then I no longer have to follow his lead and
Any
his
woman.
command and what he says, because I want to be in my feminine energy. I want to be soft. I want to be sensitive. I want to be a woman and stay in my role as a woman.
It's so funny because I'm in my, feminine energy. This like a trend now to become more feminine, which is a good thing.
Which means that shows how masculine women are.
Right. But I forgot what I was going to say.
The respect to him and allow him to lead me and my family as long as he does it and he fulfills respectfully and he does it within his rights that's God given. And the moment he steps out of the boundaries and disrespects my rights and doesn't give me my rights as a Muslim woman and a wife, then I no longer have to follow his lead and his command and
You
what he
said
says.
that
Because
it's so funny now that it's a trend for women to be in their feminine energy.
Yeah, right. Like you see that as a post, and like that's being pushed more. She's saying, I forgot what I was going to say, but pretty much she's saying that that's not a good thing. But that's like
Who's saying it's not a good thing?
the
lesbo?
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
crazy hair color girl.
and a wife, then I no longer have to follow his lead and his command and what he says, because I want to be in my feminine energy. I want to be soft. I want to be sensitive. I want to be a woman and stay in my role as a woman.
Listen, you can date whoever you want. Anybody, if I'm feminine, if you're somebody who's feminine, you want to date another feminine person, you're allowed to. So I don't really think that there's a rule for a dating. There needs to be a
isn't.
masculine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if we just continue going on with everyone, the path that we're going, just let everybody be feminine and all the women just step into masculinity.
What's going to happen? What's the worst that can happen?
We have a chaotic world.
Yeah, like we're doing
I
right
wanna know
now.
what
That's what's
will
happening right now. It's
Will the world
chaotic.
turn on fire?
Yeah,
I
your
I
world.
get
You
a
know,
little
Focus
fire
will be
now.
on families.
They're not gonna have
Focus will be on
time
their
to
families, their children.
be a
They're gonna have
lesbian. How
can't you focus on
an
family with
absent
feminine
mom.
energy?
For example, if you're a woman who's working and you're not in the household, then who's gonna take care of your children?
A nanny, a daycare, a preschool.
It's
That's
all
also
things.
so bad.
That's why.
I thought she was just saying that our benefit to society was raising kids.
She just
So if
talking.
we're not doing that, then what are we doing? Right? No? Just me?
It's wrong, because why would you have another person raise your own children?
It's
you know?
wrong because I'm trying to work and I'm trying to provide for my family, and there's nothing wrong with it.
I know she ain't got no kids.
she don't.
No, she ain't got no
She don't.
kids. No. And most women have to work, but y'all feminists messed this up for us because we had it so good. Like when you have kids, you realize I just want to be with my kids. I just want to raise my kids. Being away from my baby is the worst thing ever. And y'all messed it all up for us because we're just chilling. Now we gotta work. You got what you wanted. Now
and then
women want to be in their feminine and want to start a garden and want to be there with their kids, but y'all messed it up. Now we working. Now we making money.
And then they want to shit on those who want to fucking stay at home and be with the kids and shit like something wrong with y'all. It's ass backwards.
It's crazy because you won't get it. I probably was the most career-oriented, masculine, workforce type of girl until you have kids. And I'm like, ain't no amount of money in the world, awards, recognition.
Just want to be with the baby.
Like, that stuff is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Those are things that are important to me and I'm sure some other women, but nothing comes before being a mom and being with my kid. Like, nothing. So it's, you don't know until you know.
You don't know until you know.
Right. And until I had kids, I wouldn't have this perspective that I do now. So,
and it's unfortunate though for all these girls who are still stuck in that mind state and they're pushing parenthood or don't even want kids because of just the current structure of society, and they're gonna miss out on all this shit.
Right, that are like, don't want to have kids anymore, or like, I'm 35, I'm in my single girl era, I have all the time, I don't need a man, I don't want a man. Like,
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Giving my kid another opportunity to do so. I just want to say, we right here, I know not all feminists, and I understand that, are fighting for all women to live their life however they want, but it seems to be in this conversation that I don't want to group all of you, but some of you are not fighting for my choice as a woman to not submit to my husband. I would not want to do that. I would never have a husband.
I just said that.
When did that ever come out their fucking mouth
Right.
though?
Like, you just
put that shit on and they ain't never said that.
So I wasn't trying to group all you together. Some of you.
They
Some of
just
you
said
on this
that's what
side. It
they
does seem
like.
like you wouldn't fight for the kind of woman I would want to be.
Main reason why I do not think that the patriarchy benefits society at all is because it is not benefiting men. You guys brought up a lot of points about men being the providers, right? The role of a man is to be the provider, and if you cannot provide for your family, you are not fulfilling the role of a man. We don't live in a society with an economy where we can have men be providers, women be, or even just woman provider and man stay at home. Because I know a lot of cultures like that stay at home dads instead.
Mostly need
provider
two
always
incomes.
have to be income?
Yeah.
Does provider
But
has
that's the way you guys were framing it.
I don't think
It's the purpose. We are all innately put on this earth to have a purpose, right? And so that purpose for men in their DNA is to be the protector and provider.
This conversation is as if like gay people don't exist. All we're talking about is the man is the provider, the mom stays at home. You can't even flip those.
Bro, y'all are not gonna move the meter at all regarding this topic. Y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want. Nobody cares.
This is not even the conversation. You just gotta bring it. Y'all gotta be the center of attention. Every question has to be around
nothing
about
to do
y'all.
with y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with the pink hair. It ain't got nothing to do with this girl.
What? It's a question. Why gotta make it about you? That's some narcissistic shit right
Facts.
there.
Apparently, like the women have to be feminine, the man has to be masculine for it to work. First of all, there's plenty of gay households that thrive. Gay people can have families, can thrive
Here's the thing.
without those roles. And I do agree, those roles are not innate. They might have been needed for the Stone Age, but we have completely evolved past that point of needing those roles. And those roles are not in our DNA. Those
If
roles were
everyone was
socialized.
gay, we'd have no kids.
And if you have preference, if you want to go on a date with someone and you want them to be the leader in your relationship, you want them to pay, you want them to be the one that, opens the door for you, you want that strong masculine role, that is your right. And you should command that of someone. If you're on dating apps, say, this is what I want.
That's what I'm into.
Exactly.
Yeah, do it.
It's pointless for any of these gay girls to talk on this topic. It's
Right. Why they got
pointless.
a whole gay panel?
It's pointless. It's not beneficial at all to the conversation.
In a family where the men were the providers and the protectors, I come from a law enforcement and military family, as you can imagine, that's very male, heavy dominance, and women stayed home and knew their place. You were rather seen, not heard. It's like if we don't secure ourselves to a man, then we are just these women that are
That's
just
unhealthy too.
Yeah.
It is.
That's not what we're saying.
And that's not what I want.
That's not what
I
we're
want.
promoting. Yeah.
And I want people to
one
make it
question.
clear.
What rights do you guys think that men have that women don't today?
Going out in public and not feeling like you're going to be harassed, whatever race, whatever
What?
gender, whatever, I mean,
It's not a
I know
right.
you guys
Not
just
a
looked
right.
and you
It's a biological difference. It's like
It is like the safest time.
But
Are they capping?
But that whole argument is so flawed.
Like, if you're a girl and you watch these videos in the comments, can you please let me know? Do y'all really just feel scared to go outside? Because I can't relate.
I guess like if you were walking through a dark alley at 3-4 in the morning.
If you were a dude, you'd probably be scared
Exactly,
too.
yeah,
Like,
exactly,
yeah, if you're putting yourself in a dangerous
Compromising
situation, then
yeah.
anyone would feel scared. But
So
like,
it's just the victimhood mind state.
maybe it's just me, but like,
Women have never been safer. Men
I
attack
don't-
men more than fucking men attack women. But that's just the narrative that goes. It's easy to fucking get women going.
I guess.
But the
like
argument,
that's
but
more
the
of-
argument is stupid though. It's like a biological difference. It's like a midget getting pissed that he can't dunk. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit.
Kind of like roll dries, but I've been sexually assaulted, and by someone I didn't know and by someone I did know, and I have been approached in public areas, and my voice was not enough to tell them to stop.
Women statistically,
nothing
it's not
to
even
do
a
with the
competition. There's
conversation.
so much more of a struggle. We are so much more at harm than men, and it's not even an
No,
argument.
that's true because we are women and that our biology are making us like more
Thank you.
vulnerable. So
No, my biology doesn't make me more susceptible to be attacked at night.
Well, no,
that's just
I,
the way
okay,
It
can I just
definitely
say
does
this?
make you more
I just would like to say this.
susceptible.
To me, that's framing it as women don't have the right to go outside without being assaulted. That's not true.
No, that's not what I meant.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, sorry.
In my opinion, I think that what happened to you is disgusting, and that person, the people who did that, need to be prosecuted. And I hope, and if they couldn't, they can't. And that's the horrible thing, and that should be talked about.
Overarchingly, men have the ability to go outside without fear.
Okay.
There are groups of men, especially black men, that do have fear of when they're driving, if there's a cop getting pulled over. But I'm saying
There
that
you go.
women.
What are they
overarchingly-
talking about?
I mean, how many
They ain't talking
women
about nothing.
have, stun guns or have
to do with
mates or have
rights?
some sort of.
Yeah, I understand because if I'm going on a date, I have everything.
Exactly.
I'm setting my location,
But-
so I'm not taking that away. But it was just like in the contrast to what his
And
question
as a woman,
was, it
as
was
a
just
society,
like
Right.
it's unfortunate society.
But you don't think it's a right that
you
men
have the right to
have
be safe.
that
No,
men
what-
have that safety and that innately and
Everyone has
women
that right.
don't? Or,
I feel like
Last
That's
point. Last concluding
on
point
an
on this.
individual.
saying that
If
they're-
you
She said
that
innately.
women-
You can't put right and innately in the same sentence.
literally, like, there are plenty of men that have been molested and harassed as little boys or even grown boys, so that's not secluded to just women.
But men get attacked more than women do generally out in the streets. This narrative that women just get fucked up by men all the goddamn time, it's like 3-1 because men attack men more than that.
Can go in at night without having to be attacked. That's a people thing, and
Is that a right that we don't?
yeah, that we can't.
You didn't really answer his question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Thank you. Anti-feminism hinders progress towards achieving gender equality.
There are valid concerns and criticisms of the feminist movement, but a lot of it is just like, oh, you said yes, all men. Okay, but what's the context behind people saying yes, all men? It's not actually saying specifically, yes, every single man is responsible for every single other man assaulting somebody. No, it's this societal thing of like, I don't feel safe with men.
It depends on the kind of label you're using, because you could be an anti-feminist like these women because you don't agree with some of the rhetoric that's been used or some of the very specific movements. But you can also be someone like Andrew Tate, who is like, he's not just anti-feminist, he's anti-woman.
Pearl, too. Just
What?
like
Oh my God,
things.
yeah.
How are they anti-women?
Not using the feminist label is frustrating, even if you kind of share like the same core values, like we're all pro-women, but we're not all feminists. It can be counterproductive just by nature of like not using or using labels. Like they carry so much weight.
I don't know if you guys know, but Andrew Tate converted to Islam.
Yes.
He became Muslim. Yes. People can change, and I feel like we shouldn't judge people for what they may have done or said in the past, because people do change, have a change of heart. Good people around you and your surroundings can change you. So I don't want to be like, okay, Andrew Tate is a bad person or he's anti-woman.
He ran a sex trafficking ring.
You see, I don't know. I don't want to assume stuff.
He's
legally.
He has not been charged.
I don't know.
He was
I do
charged.
think
He's in the middle of trial.
He was in prison, but I believe
not
there was a
charged.
trial. He wasn't charged.
Yeah, so he's on house
it's still
arrest.
going on. I
I
think
think.
he's on a house arrest.
Convicted.
Yes.
Well, no. He has not been convicted. He has been charged.
There's enough evidence to put him in prison. So.
And he's also been
Girl, you're
There's
not the
also a lot of
judge.
people
But
like going
irregardless,
after him.
Yeah.
He may have, gotten an awakening to become a better person, better man, and being able to support. And I feel like now he probably has more respect for women because of Islam.
He does not. I assure you, he has not changed.
He says
I'm
more
not gonna forget
positive
somebody
things
who's
about
bi.
women
The amount of
than
13-year-old boys
a lot of
he
feminists.
has genuinely permanently altered because their brain was so fresh when they're reading all these red pill things. Is really damaging. So I'm not gonna entertain a conversation where I think we need to give forgiveness to someone who's horrible.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really looked at those videos. I didn't care enough about
we
him
did.
until he became Muslim. That's when I recognized him.
You should research because I feel like you wouldn't support him. I feel like you seem like a very reasonable, incredible human. I really think you should look into it because he's really vile.
We brought it up earlier, right? Where everyone was like, oh, feminists are so anti-men. It's like, have you ever had a time where you're just like, oh God, I hate my family because your family's been a dick to you? Do you really hate your family?
But if you keep saying it all the time, someone's gonna believe that you hate your family. If you keep constantly saying it.
But has your family?
I'm gonna
but
look
has
at your family
family
like, what's going on with them?
But has your family constantly caused you harm and not actually made steps to make that better with you? That's
So
where
all
You do
men-
hate your family.
But what if I don't hate my family?
No, I don't hate my family.
Where does that go?
That's
What if
okay.
you're saying they're
Wait,
doing
wait,
things
hold
for
on.
you to hate?
I'm saying that
And you're saying you hate them.
No, I'm not saying I hate them at all.
To me as a whole, and saying something hinders or something, is stop. That means that I'm against women. That means that you're saying that because I'm an anti-feminist. Well, that's kind of like, what I take from it, because even, you guys, Andrew Tate, just pearly things, or whoever, even though I disagree with many of them, they have reasons to whatever they can say, just like you have reasons to what you say. I can let many things fly that don't apply to me, but it still looks bad to me. It still looks bad on my person and my community and me as a woman. And that's why I think that maybe it can come off as very demeaning and dismissive, and that's what's already the problem in feminism.
You make a really good point. Genuinely, I've been in so many feminist spaces where I'm just embarrassed, 100%.
I mean, anti-feminist too, though. I'm
Embarrassed
being
for
honest.
your
There's
ass.
some very radical.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Because they're just the loudest and they're so, everything's self-serving. If you're in it for you, this fight isn't for you. It is for you, you're a woman, but there are people who this fight is more for. I think that's okay to when we're talking about intersectionality, to put things on a spectrum and to
Nah,
say,
you can't do that.
you don't think so?
No,
you don't
because
think
the problem-
my needs as a woman should be fought for as much as a black woman's?
No,
I don't.
I don't think there should be, because that's to me the problem. There is already a spectrum in the feminist movement.
Divisiveness.
We're trying to create the biggest movement or the biggest fight that's going against women, where we should just bring women together and say, what are you going through? What are you going through? And it should. That's to me.
That's what
the,
some people
the
are trying to
spectrum.
do.
Community level,
I just feel like that's the problem. The spectrum, or there should be no black woman should be over, or no white woman, or to me, like you said, even Middle
Anybody be
Eastern,
over
there should be
anybody.
no group of people that have a higher highlight, because by doing that, we just
So you're saying creating the groups is creating more division?
yeah.
I do have a statement, because I think innately we all are, pro-woman, and we are pro-equity of women, and we are pro-equality of gender in the ways that we
That
perceive
same
it to
energy
be.
about
I was
transgenders.
once anti-feminist, but I don't think I was not progressing the feminist movement. I think as a woman I was trying to, progress in my own ways, and I think that that's exactly what you guys are doing in your own ways. And I think every one of us is working towards making that more palatable for everyone.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to
and
go
we-
back to your prompt. So, the prompt that anti-feminist is hindering, the progress in the feminist movement. If you're paying a little bit of attention, you're seeing women's spaces being used, in terms of the bathroom situations.
Talk your
Yes,
shit.
there are cases.
speak.
There are cases of young boys who identify as girls raping, and the feminist movement is
What y'all
very
gonna say
quiet,
now?
has not done anything or said anything
Right.
to even address that. I've gone to rallies with Riley Gaines. I was just at a rally with Riley Gaines the other day in Phoenix. 'Cause
But
that's
y'all
where
feminists,
that's where I
and
live
you
now.
do so much for the
The
movement.
silence from the feminist movement as this is happening, it's literally misogynistic.
Facts.
Of what is happening in the transgender movement towards women.
Can you wait, hold on. Can you give context on who Riley Gaines is?
Riley Gaines is a swimmer, a college swimmer, NCAA swimmer, and during her competition, there was a male identifying as a woman who entered the competition, and he beat. They They were side by side. They actually had the same, they tied.
Second.
But she was told to step back, give him the trophy, let him have the photo op. And she's been on this mission to really address what's been happening in our society where we are allowing men to take over women's spaces.
Yep.
Is that a man
and
or is that a trans
It's a
woman?
fucking man.
Yes, that's all you
It's
took
important
from
to
that?
know, like,
That's all you
That's
took?
all she took.
It's just I like genuinely like I don't appreciate the eye roll because you're misgendering somebody right now.
Get the
They are a
fuck
woman.
out of here.
They're a woman. If they say they're a woman.
You're creating an
they're a woman.
environment
Fake
because
ass feminist.
assault of anybody in any spaces is not okay, and we are creating an environment.
But we don't wanna
that
talk
is
about the assault.
allowing and inviting that.
I
It's
know
not a
it's
trans
like
issue.
one victim.
No, not one
It's not a
victim.
trans.
We're not gonna address the assault.
Nope.
Did you misgender
Nope.
him
That's
or
the-
her
that's
or
the
whatever?
whole fucking problem.
Did you use the wrong pronouns? Forget the assault. Forget
Forget women being
the
erased.
unfair. Forget that this is the worst thing for women. Did you use the wrong pronouns?
Ass backwards, man.
But you do so much for the movement. No, feminism is hindering women.
Exactly.
That should have been the prompt.
Yep.
I would have stepped forward.
And it's not
Wait,
one
hold on,
victim.
It's not a trans
It's
issue
not a
because
trans
people who are
issue.
genuinely trans, that's not what's happening.
Exactly.
But it's opening, but like
Trans
she
is
said, it's
opening
like
the door.
Predators to come
but
in.
it's just like we just need a
But people that are trans that are
Let her
just
go.
cheating.
Let her go. Let her go.
Women are being assaulted in front of people in public spaces by men statistically, and that's the fight we should be. And this is not a trans
so
issue.
that's
we
okay.
Not a
Cannot,
trans issue.
we cannot be a society that is now shifting to give more, to allow for these things to happen even more.
But
we
why is
know
she
that.
comparing a public space to a bathroom, locker room, sports?
She said women are getting assaulted in public spaces. That's what we need to focus on. So we're just gonna ignore the fact that we're not protecting women, allowing men into women's spaces where they are harming women.
You
We're
should
not
have
gonna
a-
address that at all
Women
with
should
your
have a right to
feminist
privacy.
self.
Facts.
What? We should focus. What?
She's stuck on stupid, man.
Man,
I work with survivors. I have
She's not
people
trying
in
to
my
hear it,
group
though.
that are survivors of child sexual abuse. I don't discriminate. Predators, pedophiles, they come as priests, they come as lawyers, they come as doctors, they come as judges. What I'm saying is the environment that we are creating now in terms of this transgender movement where we are allowing,
We cannot open that door.
we cannot open that door. We
That's
are
any
causing
movement,
more
really.
problems.
So
That's, I mean, you
So we
could-
shouldn't have kids in
everyone-
church. You should not be religious then because kids are getting.
Wait, hold on. Let her say.
what?
So I want to, because I do not want to
church to a
invalidate. If
bathroom.
it happens to one person is enough. The media is
It's enough,
skewing
and it's happened
the
to one
transgender
person.
movement in the sense that they are making them out to be predators when overwhelmingly they're not. You're allowed
That's
to
all
say
not-
those things and
She
But-
just said, hold on. She started this by saying, all it takes is one.
Yeah, so
And then she said, because not all of them are predators, then
she
it's
contradicted
okay.
herself. Yeah. No. Sounds fucking stupid.
Like, y'all are supposed to fight for women. Make this make sense. Even if one woman is harmed, one girl is uncomfortable. That is too many. You're supposed to be fighting for women. Where's your energy? Where's all the stuff you're doing for all this work you're putting in for the movement to better women?
I'm just, what is it though? Like, why is there such a disconnect from the actual goal that is for feminism? Like, what's the disconnect? Like, how can you be so how can you be so hypnotized and so oblivious to reality that you're actually harming women in
Because
the efforts
their
you're doing?
brain turns off as soon as as soon as the word
Yeah, it cuts
transgender
off, but-
even comes
Yeah, I get
out,
it, but why?
all logic stops.
Why though?
I don't,
Why? It makes no sense.
because maybe it
You're
has
so
been
worried
seen
about-
as like you're accepting and like that's a good thing, but you're literally accepting at the cost of harming women when you are supposed to be a feminist fighting for women. But these
coming
days,
up with all these excuses for why it should be not allowed, but well, they're getting raped in the bathrooms, so women are getting raped in public spaces, or priests is raping children in churches. What does one have to do with the other? We're talking about bathrooms. Women should have a fucking right to privacy in bathrooms. There'll only be women in fucking bathrooms. If you allow men in any fucking women-dominated space like that, there's gonna be fucking issues where women are the only ones supposed to be there.
right? whether it be a legit transgender person or someone that's just pretending
it
and
doesn't
taking
matter.
advantage of
You-
the system that was created.
Yeah, it's a-
But that's one thing. But with sports, transgender men are literally just cheating.
Whooping ass.
Cheating.
Yep.
Straight up cheating.
Yep.
So
But this is common knowledge. Everybody knows this shit.
these days,
These
being
motherfuckers
being a feminist is like just being a retard. That's
Facts.
literally what it means these days. So like, who wants to freaking identify as that? Like, I'm not a feminist by what feminists stand for these
Today.
days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm for women,
Feminists don't even fight for women. They fight for fucking LGBTQ.
for woke,
Yeah.
for
Pro woke.
literally. That's you said
Inclusivity.
it. You said it. They just fight for LGBTQ.
That's it.
Openly disrespect people, and you're not doing that. I don't think you're doing
this
that.
is not about disrespect.
But
For me, it's about safety. It's about
Facts.
especially for children, because that's what I advocate for the most. When when we have shifted into a society that is giving this crack and this opening where you have nefarious people, and I'm not talking about genuine transgender people.
It's not about trans. It's
I'm
about
talking about the
people who are using it
predators
to their
who are
advantage.
using
Taking
under
advantage
the
of the
umbrella
fucking
of the
loophole.
transgender,
Yep.
umbrella to come in.
They're normalizing that.
And the law is not catching up with any of this.
You got
In one
fucking men
particular
getting women
case
pregnant in
Virginia,
prison.
in Loudoun County. That young boy who identifies as a girl raped twice. He got moved from one school district. He raped a young girl, and then they moved him to another. He didn't.
If we doing it to ourselves.
Crickets. They got nothing to say. Nothing. They just gonna sit there, look stupid, and be like,
Well, women get raped every day.
"Did you misgender him?
Yeah.
The rapist? Did you misgender the rapist?"
punish
But
or
do you think that
anything.
it's because he's transgender, or is it because he's got some
That's
some
not
deep
the
issue?
fucking point.
I don't
And
know.
the thing is
that's
you
the
don't
thing.
not
When
the
you allow
point.
people to just identify, you don't know if
That's
he's
not the
genuinely
point.
trans or is he using
That's-
that
that's-
to
Yeah,
identify
you're
to
normalizing
Who
get
gives a fuck? He
to
raped
his victims.
multiple
Of course,
girls.
it's not because
I just have a question. Can you be pro-woman and not include trans women, or is that not possible?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
because they're not women.
They're
They're
not women.
I don't believe a
biological
trans woman is a
men.
woman. I will
They're
respect,
their own
I will respect
category.
calling you a she or whatever
But
you
you ain't
how
it.
you identify. I will do that, but I don't believe you're not a woman.
Biologically.
If I say that I'm
That's
black,
all
I'm
the
not
fucking
black,
woman is,
you know?
biologically.
Race is different than gender.
If
Just
my
so you
if my
know,
nephew
it's like
says he's a girl, he's not
All they want to do is just like
All
say
this,
that.
yeah, all this
Just
woke shit. All they want to do is push a fucking agenda. That's it.
use these terms like spectrum.
They so triggered
and-
by reality. How does real life piss you off?
I'm triggered by them.
But it's
They make me wanna
it's
fight.
It's like the sky is pissing me off because it's blue. That's what it should sound like. Motherfuckers are literally retarded.
It's like you said, like
Retarded.
all logic and thinking and communication stops because they get triggered when they hear anything about this topic.
It has
You
nothing
should
to
be-
do with women.
You should be this triggered about stuff that will help women.
Facts.
Like you should be this triggered the other way.
Yep.
Like how triggered I am when I hear about a girl getting raped in the bathroom by someone who identified as a woman, or girls in the spa being exposed to a dick, 9-year-olds. The way that triggers me is the way these people get triggered about just addressing
Which
the
makes
conversation.
no fucking sense. Makes no sense. Give a damn how upset your ass is. It pales in comparison to people actually being victimized by the fucking shit we're doing to ourselves by allowing this bullshit to happen.
They just sit there quiet.
Sit there quiet.
Did you use the wrong term? Did you?
Did you call him or her? Fuck out of here, man.
Biologically. They're just women biologically. Well, how else?
All right, it's gonna get to a point where motherfuckers just start going upside everybody's head, and then that's it. That's it.
a girl. He's a boy. Giving rights to a man who says that he's a woman, that's not fair.
I think just how you would protect children from predators in schools, you have to do a check on the
Or not.
people who are doing. But then that's the problem for the school board. That's not on us.
What if the
or
molester is the one who's
feminism.
doing the checking in the schools?
Okay,
That's
but
what I
then,
mean.
but then again, you're again throwing problems that this is a problem for society. It's not a problem for us to solve. We have to have
So
people
it's
who are.
a problem for society
Right.
and not a problem to be litigated against trans people.
This is
That's
not
my
a problem
point.
against trans people.
But it
We're-
does litigate against
You're
trans
talking
people.
making it. It's not a problem against trans people that we're we're making.
needs
We're
to be
saying that
litigated.
this
But who's litigating against trans people? Nobody's litigating.
They're not right now. They
litigating
have the
whatever the
green
fuck they
flag to
want.
do whatever they want. Literally, a man can just take advantage of this system we've created, say they self-identify as a woman, go rape some little girls, and guess what? They go into a woman prison where they can rape more women. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Facts.
doors, it's a slippery slope. It's gonna be.
But that slippery slope opens doors for non-trans people to be abused. That's my point. You're
talking about people that are hired to do a job that are taking advantage of their job and molesting children. That's not the same thing as giving access to a bathroom and then doing that.
You're
That's not
giving
the same
them
thing.
access to the lockers. You're giving them
Yes,
access
but
to the children.
There's
You're
people who
literally
are hiring the
saying-
predators. You're hiring predators. That's different than people having access to random bathrooms. Than people who are actually hiring predators. You gave them an interview. You let them into the school spaces.
How are you supposed to know?
How are you supposed to know?
What do you mean? How are we supposed to know? So we have no way to know who are predators at all.
No, we
Most
don't.
prolific
Not
serial
really.
killers
Okay.
are, like, the
Okay.
most
So then there's nothing that can be done
run-of-the-mill
then. So then you're telling me there's nothing that can be done. If we don't know
We can fight for
we don't
women
know,
and how
then
to
there's
speak
nothing
up
that
and
can
how
be
to have
done.
bodily
If
autonomy.
If we don't know, if
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
ways
Yeah.
if there's no ways to go through and try to fish out who's a predator, no questions that can be asked, no ways to look at somebody, observe somebody's behavior to know, then there's nothing that we can do. Then kids will forever get
that's what's
molested. Is that what you're
happening
saying?
No, what we
No,
do.
that's
So then
not.
what are you saying?
There's no way we can identify a predator, a rapist, just by looking at them. What you have to do is teach children how to tell you when it happens.
Bitch,
That's
get the
it.
fuck out of here.
That's the only thing that
She
we
don't.
can
She ain't got
do.
no kids either.
For sure ain't got no
She ain't got no
kids.
fucking kids either. But she
All we gotta do is after you get molested,
Yeah.
you need to tell
Nah,
someone.
fuck
What?
that. No.
How about no? How about
got-
I don't want
if
no
you-
men in the bathroom with my daughter?
If you ever
How
had,
about
yeah,
no?
if you ever had dick and balls ever in your life, you're not getting in this fucking room. Point blank, period. That's it. That cuts that shit off for everybody, for every woman to ever fucking get potentially abused by any motherfucker. That's a man.
If they had kids, they would not say this because you have this innate
Yeah, when you have kids,
instinct to
you're not
protect
retarded.
your kids. Shit, other people's kids.
Facts.
I think even if I didn't, I don't know. It probably wouldn't hit the same. But I just
But
think
you
of
still,
other
you still
people's
would
kids.
fight for it though.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
fighting
like
for innocence.
literally like if I was in a bathroom and someone else's 16-year-old daughter was there and a
6'6" motherfucker with
came
some
in there
heels.
and pulled out his dick to go pee, I would probably drag his ass out of there.
Yeah.
Because no, that's so wrong. Like you're gonna scar this child because you're a creep and you self-identified, or you, even if you are transgender, like you then do it in a way so you're not harming anyone else.
And these motherfuckers give transgenders a bad stigma too, because most trans, they know what the fuck is up.
They do. They're
You know
not
what I'm
gonna
saying? They're not
do
trying
that.
to be out here putting nobody in
Thank
jeopardy.
you. They're not gonna walk into a bathroom and let their dick hang,
Yeah, they're
like,
not gonna do
and
that.
just make little
They're not
girls
trying to cause a
uncomfortable.
spectacle. Yeah,
no,
these is mother-
if anything, they feel uncomfortable, so they're gonna be out the way and like not cause a scene.
Yeah, but these motherfuckers making it worse.
And we don't have an issue with true transgender people that like whatever, cool, you've had the surgery, you're like, you live your life as a woman, cool, like go in there, don't make a scene. But you're in a women's spot where there's little girls with your dick hanging out.
Trying to make it seem.
No. No.
I can think of so many spaces. So why would I all of a sudden need a man to go dress up as a woman to get in the bathroom to assault me when they can do it on the dance floor? They can do it in my second grade classroom, and that happened in second grade. So I don't want to hear.
And you fight for women?
Trans people, trans spaces. Now people are assaulting. Men can assault women anywhere. So I don't want to hear the trans argument. I don't think the trans argument is productive, especially as you who works with victims. You know victims can
Here's
be
the
victims
thing.
anywhere. So
When I'm
saying it's a
listening
trans
to-
bathroom issue is so
When I
would've
listen
lit her
to
ass up.
testimonies
Oh my
from
God, I
young
would've
people
lit
who
her
are in
ass
sports,
up, man.
She got this hostile ass energy. You are here calling yourself a feminist. You fight for women.
And you're okay with letting men in women's spaces?
And that's great. Her energy, like,
It's crazy.
I would definitely, I could not sit up there
That has
across from
nothing
her.
to do with women. Nothing to do with women. That's fucking just pro-woke.
They're so
LGBT,
focused,
yeah.
right? Just on
Inclusivity and making sure everybody feels good about themselves, and
it's like, but like, oh, it's, I feel like
At
it's,
the detriment of
right,
everybody
but
else's
it's
safety.
not even like about that anymore. It's like just gotten to be this like ego-driven thing that like you can't even bring this word up. You can't bring these people up. It's like
it's entitlement narcissism.
it's nuts.
Is it? If they,
I would wanna fight her.
Motherfuckers feel like they untouchable now. So yeah, I got the right shirt on for this.
Yeah,
It
you're
ended
right.
up working out.
Fact. Fact. Right. All the shirts are always relatable.
Yeah.
Who are
It's nuts.
terrified of going into the locker room because they've allowed.
Anywhere. So
When I'm
saying it's a
listening
trans
to-
bathroom issue is so
When I
ignorant.
listen to testimonies from young girls who are in sports who are terrified of going into the locker room because they've allowed men who are now identifying as women who are still men to be changing in the locker rooms with them, that is, we
Wrong.
have fallen as a society. That we
Wrong.
are
Fallen.
sitting idly by and letting young girls feel completely unsafe in these environments that used to be safe.
I never.
That
But it's okay because women are getting assaulted everywhere.
Yup.
That's the excuse.
Yup.
That's all you can say to that.
Yeah.
She said, "Well, I've shut up."
used to be
in any
fine.
environment as a woman.
So what are we
why-
talking
what-
What
about
did she
here?
say?
You're sitting idly by and letting young girls feel completely unsafe in these environments that used to be safe.
I never
that
felt
used to
safe
be
in any
fine.
environment as a woman.
So what are we
why-
talking
what's the
about
difference?
here?
For the people who did feel safe
And I was
before.
opening
Right,
Yo,
so-
big
so
brolic masculine female ass that never felt safe. Get the fuck out of here,
Said
bro.
I never felt safe.
Oh man.
So now it's okay for all y'all not to feel safe too, because I never felt safe.
I ain't feel safe, so women don't have the right to feel safe in the bathroom.
What? And now it's opening a
It's
new
opening
door.
up a new door.
Okay,
For
let's move on
predators.
to the next prompt.
All right.
I feel targeted by some feminists.
Yeah, I feel targeted by her with the red hair.
That used to be
In any
fine.
environment as a
No,
woman.
So what are we
why-
talking
what's the
about
difference?
here?
For the people who did feel safe before.
And now it's opening a
All right. That wore me out.
Always, you know what? Nothing pisses me off more than these so-called feminists that are fighting to destroy women.
Yeah.
To make spaces less safe, to make sports not fair. It like makes no sense, and it really makes me just want to fight.
They sheep though, man. That's what I attribute it to. At the end of the day, they sheep, easily fucking fooled and easily conditioned. Motherfuckers tricked to goddamn play themselves. Think how weak minded. You gotta be a weak-minded motherfucker to come up here talking that shit you talking.
Say you're pro women, like you do all this work. Like she tried to say that she's like done all this like volunteer whatever type of work for women, but you, like she said, but we gonna sit quiet about this.
And she got the most passionate about the trans shit.
More passionate about that than all the work she's done pro women.
Yeah.
And this one thing is doing more harm to women than anything that's been done. It's nuts. It's not. Y'all nuts. Y'all nuts. Stop being nuts.
Psycho. All right.
The Asian, the old lady,
Old lady and that
Asian
black,
lady.
her and that black girl.
Yeah.
Both black girls actually.
And then the Muslim girl too.
Yep. Well, all the anti-feminists.
They're anti-feminist.
Yeah,
And they
anti-feminist.
sitting up there fighting for women rights.
Yep. Yep. Ain't
We
that
need
about
to-
a bitch?
You know what? We need to kill that word.
Ain't that
that
about
word
a
is
bitch?
dead. Y'all killed it. Y'all
Yeah.
feminists killed the word.
Yeah,
The word.
Feminists are anti-feminists.
Oh, see, the world is
Ass
backwards.
backwards.
That's why
funny.
after we do these videos, you're just like so tired because it's
That's
so
funny.
confusing. All this
That's
shit is
funny.
like, what?
Yep.
Everything's
Up
backwards,
is
right?
down, left is right.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Men are women.
Men are women, women are
are men.
men.
Feminines, masculine,
Yep.
masculines, feminine.
Ass
feminine.
backwards.
Whew.
Yep.
And our kids gotta grow up in this confusion. So it's like that just makes parents like us, we have to be doing
That much
extra
on it. Yep.
to fight against the confusion, to make things extra clear. Like,
No, we're not playing that
no,
shit.
right, no, boys don't wear makeup.
Nope.
Like,
we don't wear dresses.
like I feel like that's not even something that I would ever think to say, but because
you have to do it to overcorrect.
overcorrect this confusion that they're trying to create for our kids.
Yep.
So if anything, now y'all are making parents like us.
You're gonna make us homophobic. You're gonna make us transphobic.
You're
You're
gonna-
gonna make us to keep that bullshit away, even though we ain't. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Yeah,
Leave the fucking kids alone.
facts.
Buy a shirt.